all the stuff in the headlines now about General Motors, cutting jobs and all that. And the first thing people thought about here in the Metroplex was Arlington.
Right.
I live in Arlington. Looks like that's not going to be a problem there. But the reason I wanted to bring this up is I lived in Pflugerville back when Dell, this is like 15, 16 years ago, cut 7,000 jobs.
Wah, wah, wah.
And we were trying to sell our house. So we were discussing before the show, I was one of 39 homes for sale in a square mile.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
But talk a little bit about industries in certain areas and the impact that they can have. And let's say somebody's looking for a house in an area. How do you factor things like that into it?
Well, if you listen, by the way, you're listening to Texas Real Estate with Todd Tramonte. Got our buddy Brian McFarling from THI in studio with us, as we almost always do, peppering me with your questions, so keep them coming. So you always have to do that. I mean, I guess my point is when there's big news about GM and the president's arguing about jobs and all this stuff, that's a big thing. But it's not unusual. Anytime you buy, sell, invest, you need to evaluate that. And so if you listen to Texas Real Estate, if you listen to this show very often, you've heard me just rail on agents who value homes with nothing but comps. If you've never heard that, here's the 5-second version. Comps are when you take 3 or 4 similar homes that have sold recently and average the numbers and say this is what your house is worth. That is an absolute, irresponsible, oversimplified, embarrassing, horrible abuse of your role. That is not enough. That is not good enough. That's a joke. If you're a real estate agent and you're in your car, your garage, or wherever right now listening to me and I just ticked you off, I'm not sorry. Deal with it. Do better. Be better at your job. Okay? Be a grown-up professional. When someone goes to sell what's not always their biggest asset, but it's usually one of them, and it's almost always one of them, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of real estate, usually with a bunch of debt involved and your family involved and a lot of other important things involved, you doing a quick 2 to 3 numbers average times your square footage is a joke. I get a little fired up. I'm still honestly a little ticked off about it, just making myself angry here. So I'll transition back to the actual question. But when you value a home, you have to consider what's going on over at the GM plant, what's going on over at Bell Helicopter, what's going on with the new sports team. By the way, we shot a video a couple of weeks ago on how do local sports impact your property value. And if you think I'm full of bull, you'll definitely think I'm full of bull when I tell you your house will be more if the Cowboys are winning. Because the optimism in the local market is higher. I don't care what data you want to bring to me to tell me that's wrong. That's right. I've seen it for over a decade and a half in the local market. By the way, if the Cowboys and the Rangers are good, and if the unicorns all arrive and the Cowboys and the Rangers and the Mavericks and the Stars were all good at the same time, your house is worth more. You can call me crazy all you want, but we do this hundreds of times a year, and I'm telling you that's true. And by the way, if you get an offer the morning after a huge win, it's even better. And if your house is for sale and you get an offer on a rainy day after a huge Cowboys loss in the playoffs, you're in trouble. Not big trouble, but it's going to have some impact. So again, this is not the stuff that, Case Shiller is going to announce in their pricing index announced on, the stock ticker. This is on-the-ground real stuff that Todd and his team see every day because we're taking jabs from cruddy offers we get on listings, and we're breaking records for our clients with amazing offers that we're getting on things. So, man, I got a little fired up on that question. But the point is, you always have to evaluate the weird stuff and the sports news and the jobs news and the political stuff and the mortgage rate and the seasonality of the market. Of course, we're also going to do the average of 3 or 4 or 5 homes, but we're not going to do it like a moron and just do the quickest ones we can find. We're going to go back 2 years and go back 1 year and go back 6 months and go back 90 days and ideally go back 4 days. And we're going to see the momentum and the trajectory of the market. By the way, you're listening to the crazy, fired up, angry host of Texas Real Estate. My name's Todd Tramonte, and this is what we do every Saturday at 3 o'clock right here on WBAP is we talk about what matters to you as a buyer or a seller or a homeowner. And it matters when something in the news freaks people out or gets people excited or confuses people. All of that matters. And when it comes time to buy or sell or invest or even flirt with the idea of looking at houses on the internet, you need someone that's willing to tell you the truth. You need someone that's willing to be honest with you. I would love to be that person, but here's the deal. If it's not me, just make sure you have someone, right? But the big Twitter announcement from some massive international broker isn't going to do you any good. Most of what's in the Dallas Morning News isn't even going to do you any good. I'll go ahead and throw in the Fort Worth Star-Telegram too. Let's get everybody ticked off today. But the fact of the matter is, you need specific localized knowledge, and you need a gut instinct based on years and years and years of doing this. You need to know what buyers usually do when something like that happens. And you need to go way beyond the raw data. So that's what we do at the Todd Tramonte home selling team. If we can earn your business, if we can earn your trust, if we can help you buy or sell tomorrow, or if we can help you understand your situation better today to buy or sell in 20 years, we would love to do that.